Chapter 1. Meeting my perfect Sigma man in Bombay. There's a vintage charm to the Colaba café I found myself in that fateful day. A harmonious blend of colonial relics and Bollywood beats, Bombay had become my muse. I sipped my masala chai, hot and fragrant, and hummed along to Lata Mangeshkar's lilting voice crooning from a radio nearby. I remembered the radio my grandma owned, how distant that memory felt in this city of millions. "Is this seat taken?" A voice interrupted my reverie. I looked up to meet the eyes of Neil. He had an air of quiet confidence, not like the flamboyant Bollywood heroes, but more of a classic Gregory Peck. Their similarities didn't end there. He too was an American, lost and found in the heartbeats of Bombay. We spoke of many things: the magic of monsoons, the allure of old Hindi cinema, and the vibrant street life teeming just beyond our cafe window. His voice, soothing yet commanding, talked about embracing the chaos, finding beauty in imperfection. How ironic that realization seems to me now. When he asked me about my favorite Beatles song, I confessed my fondness for Norwegian Wood. It resonated with my feeling of being out of place. He chuckled, revealing that his favorite was "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," a testament, he said, to the depths of silent waters. As the afternoon sun began its descent, casting elongated shadows and bathing Bombay in a golden hue, we promised to meet again. Little did I know, that day was just the beginning of an enthralling journey. And as the sounds of bustling streets consumed our goodbyes, a deep-rooted excitement welled up inside me, an anticipation not just for what lay ahead with Neil, but a sense of having found something I didn't know I was looking for. Yet as I replay that day now, knowing what I know, would I still take that seat opposite him? Just as the last light of day disappeared, the electricity in the cafe flickered, a common power cut. And for a split second, everything went dark. The lights blinked out, plunging the cafe into an unexpected obscurity. A gasp, like a shared breath, rippled across the tables. The rhythmic hum of the ceiling fan slowed until the blades became still shadows. The sudden hush made Neil's voice, low and just above a whisper, feel intimate and close. "It's a Bombay blackout." The fleeting darkness seemed to have a language of its own, a charged dialect of unsaid words, of shared smiles, of curious wonder. Outside, the streets came alive with 100 little flames, vendors lighting candles, children chasing fireflies, and the distant hum of a city adapting. Annie chuckled, her voice playful. "Guess the universe has its own plans for dramatic entrances." The light from her phone illuminated their faces, casting a soft glow in the dim cafe. It was all very cinematic, almost as if Raj Kapoor would come dancing around the corner with an umbrella and a hopeful smile. Neil laughed. That would be the Bollywood touch. And taking a cue, he began to hum a tune, "Mera Juta Hai Japani," from Kapoor's legendary song, their earlier discussion of films bridging the gap. In the gentle cloak of that evening, a myriad of tales spun around them. Tales from Neil's love for the old city lanes, tales from Annie's adventures as an expat, and tales from the movies that wove threads between them. Amidst the candle-lit silhouettes, murmurs, and the scents of freshly baked bread, the two of them constructed a world that was their own, and the city outside serenaded them with its heartbeat. When the lights finally flickered back, hours had seemingly folded into moments. They had wandered from the lanes of Paris with Audrey Hepburn to the bustling streets of Bombay with Amitabh Bachchan. Annie found herself lost in Neil's descriptions of the monsoons, the festivals, and the tiny Irani cafes hidden like secrets in the city's bosom. Neil, ever the spontaneous spirit, proposed, "How about I show you some of these places tomorrow?" There was a hint of mischief, a dash of excitement in his eyes. Annie, her adventurous heart sinking with his, agreed. "Let's make it a date." In the days that followed, they roamed the city together, their romance blossoming amidst the colonial architecture, the sounds of the sea, and the myriad hues of the Bombay markets. Each day felt like a page from a fairy tale, the vibrant city setting the scene for their blooming love. Neil introduced Annie to his favorite spots, and she, in turn, showed him the city from a fresh perspective. After one such day, standing at the balcony of Neil's apartment overlooking the city, its lights twinkling like a carpet of stars, Annie whispered, "How about we make this our view?" Neil turned, surprise and delight evident in his eyes. "Move in together?" he asked, the possibility evident in his tone. And in that moment, between the magic of the city and the promise of shared tomorrows, they decided to take the leap, ready to start a new chapter in their whirlwind romance. I'd always been fascinated by Bombay's diverse architecture, Art Deco facades, Gothic spires, and grand colonial mansions interspersed with slums and modern skyscrapers. But it was the quaint Bandra bungalow Neil chose for us that captured my heart, a fusion of Indo-Portuguese charm, much like the vibrant neighborhood it nestled in. Moving in felt like setting a scene from a Wes Anderson film. Quirky wallpapers, antique furniture, and a stunning view of the bandstand promenade. I'd find Neil strumming his guitar on the veranda most evenings, lost in melodies that seemed to echo the waves crashing ashore. While the surroundings whispered tales from the past, Neil and I dreamt of our future. But I couldn't help but notice certain decisions made without my consultation. A room dedicated solely to his work, furniture I'd never seen nor selected. He said it was for our own comfort, that he knew what's best. The day he hung up a vintage poster of Gone with the Wind caught me off guard. While he saw romance, I couldn't help but recall the film's problematic undertones, especially in the context of our intercultural relationship. Did he truly understand? Despite the bliss of our surroundings, there was a hint of unease. Bombay was an open book, filled with stories at every corner, from Kishore Kumar's timeless tunes floating from radios to children playing cricket in narrow lanes. But our home, it felt more like a curated exhibit, pristine and controlled. As night draped the city, Neil whispered plans of a housewarming soiree, full of influential friends he insisted I must meet. The stage was set, but I began to wonder, was I a leading lady in our tale or merely a supporting role?
This is chapter 1 of a 6-part short story. The next chapter is chapter 2. If you like this chapter and would like to hear the other 5 chapters or more stories of love, betrayal, cheating, and candid confessions like this, please make sure you subscribe to the Romance Diaries on YouTube.